Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimi, your sage, your guru, your mystic, and your spiritual informant. And today I want to address the question of whether curses have an expiration date. If someone were to put a curse on you, would that curse automatically expire or resolve itself? Or would that curse simply remain active until it is broken or cleaned up? So those of you who are familiar with the concept of generational curses most likely already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to address this question in detail for this video. Curses and witchcraft sent to you actually does not have an expiration date. And so if you suspect that there has been dark magic or negative energy sent towards you, you essentially have to do something to clear that energy, or else that energy will continue to operate in your life. So essentially, when we are experiencing curses and hexes, it is on us to do something about that energy. We either have to clean it up, we have to transmute it, we have to return it to sender, we have to open a case with the universe and ask that the universe assist us in cleaning up this energy. Whatever it is, we have to do something about it. And so if you have been taking a passive approach where you have just been waiting for the energy to stop, or you have been waiting for the spiritual attack to die down, I am making this video to clarify that curses and hexes actually do not have an expiration date. If those curses or those hexes have not been addressed spiritually, the spiritual consequences of that magic is going to continue to operate in your life. And so for those of you who are familiar with generational curses, you probably already knew the answer to this. You already knew that curses can carry over from lifetime to lifetime, from generation to generation. We can have curses from previous lifetimes. We can have curses operating in our life from our ancestor. But I'm actually going to go deeper into the mystery behind the magic today and share something that may actually be a surprise to some people out there. And this is the fact that not only do curses not have an expiration date, curses can actually be set up to activate once a person reaches a particular milestone in their life. And so that milestone can be hitting a certain age, as in the curse is set up to where once a person turns 16 or 25 or 32, a particular curse will be activated over their life. Beyond age, other milestones can be related to certain curses that you are breaking in your lineage. So a lot of people who watch my videos are generational curse breakers. So if you are a generational curse breaker, as a lot of the people who watch this channel are, then you may have noticed that once you became close to achieving a particular goal in your life, these spiritual attacks got very loud and very heavy. So if you were the first person to go to college or graduate high school or break certain addictive patterns in your family line, then you may have noticed that once you began trying to achieve those things, things got very, very hard for you in your life. You may have begun to experience a lot of opposition. And that is because there was a particular curse operating over your lineage that came into activation once you got closer and closer to breaking that curse. And this happens because the primary goal of these curses is to keep us bound to the curse. And these dark forces keep us in these curses by keeping us in repetitive cycles and loops. So if your family has a history of substance abuse or addictive behaviors, then those spirits want to keep you in that pattern. If your family line has a history of poverty or issues with money, then those spirits want to keep you poor and having issues with money. The types of opposition that you experience from these spirits is going to depend on the type of stronghold they want to have over you and over your lineage. There are curses that will literally activate once you turn a certain age. I know that in my situation, there was a curse placed over my life to where I was never supposed to reach the age of 27. By the grace of God and by the protection of my ancestors, I turned 27 this year. And when I say that I experienced spiritual attack for 4 years straight of death magic, and when I asked what this all was for, my spirits literally revealed to me that dark and demonic forces did not want me to reach my 27th birthday because it was going to be a year of destiny activation for me. So once you begin to get on the path of your destiny, just know that certain curses, whether generational or from past lifetimes, will begin to activate in your life. And so I really made this video just to clarify that the battle against these spiritual forces, the battle against spiritual attack actually never ends. We just have to become stronger and wiser and better in these battles. This practice of fighting against spiritual attack is a lifestyle. A lot of people ask, well, when is this going to end? And I have to break the news to them and say, there really isn't an end to the battle between darkness and light. That is simply the nature of the universe. And that is something that we learn to accept as we grow and mature on our spiritual journey. And we become stronger on our spiritual journey by doing our shadow work. We have to tap into our spiritual weaknesses. We have to tap into our ancestral wisdom and learn what types of curses and strongholds have held back our lineage for generations and generations. There have been plenty of people in our lineage who had spiritual gifts and spiritual powers and who had high callings over their life and over their destiny, but they were never actually able to come into those destinies. That is where the generational curse breakers come in, where we are called to step up to the plate and do that spiritual work so that we can achieve the things that our ancestors only dreamed of. And so if you need clarity about the types of strongholds and generational curses that may be operating in your life, please feel free to book a reading with me. We will be able to contact your spiritual team and your ancestors and figure out what this means for you. And if you wish to develop a spiritual practice, a spiritual lifestyle that will actually equip you to battle against these types of forces and live the life that you are actually intended to live according to your destiny, please join me on Patreon. I actually tried to publish the Patreon today, but it has to go under a review before it can be live and I can actually share a link with people. I am recording our first lecture on demons and shadow work, and it will be available exclusively to those people who join the Patreon. And so please be on the lookout for more information about that. May peace and blessings be forever upon you. I love you all. Selah.